Joining us right now on the Splash Live from Priority Waste, Director of Public Relations and Government Affairs, we have Matt Allen joining us right now to talk about the transition. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. First and foremost, we know that we are going through this transition and it's kind of just in the beginning stages, but what steps can you tell us that Priority Waste is ensuring to make sure it's a smooth transition?
Hi, good morning, Kevin. Thank you so much. Can you hear me just fine? We've had some technical difficulties this morning.
Yes, no, we can hear you
Terrific.
clearly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Nothing like a rainy day to get started out on television, right?
Right. But yes,
Kevin,
the transition between GFL Environmental and Priority Waste, can you just tell us how that's going so far?
So actually, at the moment, it's a little rough, to be honest. We've heard the cries from the public. Our call center has taken a lot of calls about people wanting information. They just came back from the 4th of July holiday, and a lot of people haven't read their mail or looked at the internet or perhaps the township webpage to see how the transition was to be initiated and so on.
Right.
So we're taking a lot of calls, a lot of volume as it relates to that. And we're hearing a lot of the complaints and a lot of the negativity about the neglectful service that took place over the several weeks prior to us actually taking over on July 1st.
Right.
So we're working diligently and very deliberately to correct those deficiencies from the past, the things that were left behind, and get them cleaned up. In West Bloomfield right now, in some of the categories, we're about 70%. On waste, we're at about 90%. And bulk and composting, we're trying to do catch up right now. The real issue is that we took over a fleet of 500 vehicles from GFL where probably a third to a half of them were deficient. They weren't safe to go on the road. And so we've been working around the clock since we took the vehicles into our possession on July 1st to get them back on the road.
Right.
So they're MDOT able to be on the road and use them. So we've got a wonderful fleet that we had with Priority, but we bought 500 vehicles from the previous provider, and we've had to go through and get them service ready to get them on the road. So that is going to be a process that's going to take 2 to 3 weeks to get through the initial phases, and then 60 to 90 days to implement the Priority technology, which is our third eye technology, and the ground point positioning system, which aids all of our routing software, which is where Priority's technology really comes to bear in communities to increase service accountability and efficiency. So it's going to be a process. We've spoken to every elected official, that's township supervisors, mayors, and so on, to let them know they understand. You know, we have to be working partners in this. This is 700,000 residents in Michigan switched from the previous provider to Priority overnight. It's basically 1/15 of the population of our state switched overnight.
Good point.
So it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a settling in period. We're going to right size the people and the routes with our software as it comes online. And we hear you. We understand you're not happy, and we're coming. So these deficiencies will be corrected. Be patient with us a little bit. We're working really hard every day to get this right as quickly as possible. But you're going to be very happy in the end.
Yes, and we appreciate your time, Matt Allen, Director of Public Relations and Government Affairs for Priority Waste, for just talking about your side, Priority Waste side, in this transition, because we know it's tough, and I wanted you to put that in perspective for us. But we don't have too much time. I do want to let you go, but ultimately, just want to kind of reiterate, ultimately, can you just once again just kind of go over the learning curve that you all are experiencing with the routes and your employees and everything throughout this entire transition also?
So 2 things to remember, that about 600 employees that were working for the previous provider came over to us. They're learning our culture on the fly. So this is like repairing a wing on an airplane as you're flying. So they're learning the Priority way, and Priority is implementing our best practices into these communities as quickly as possible. The real key here is our computer systems and our AI. That actually has to be installed on these trucks that we just bought. So there is a learning curve there for the new employees and for us integrating it into the community. And then there's a customer service component that comes with that through our PIT, which is the Priority Integrated Technology Center, which is headquartered in Clinton Township, which services all 3 of our states right now, Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. That integration is taking place as we speak every day. So as I said, 2 to 3 weeks on the initial phases, Give us some time to clear the slate so we can get to zero in our communities like West Bloomfield. And then 60 to 90 days to get the fully integrated technology up and running. So basically by September, we're going to be in great shape. But don't panic. We're coming to get your garbage. We're coming to get your recycling. We're coming to get your bulk. We're coming to get your compost. We're not waiting. We're working every day and improving incrementally and very deliberately to deliver the best quality service that we can for the residents of West Bloomfield.
Yes, and we appreciate you again, Matt, for joining us and taking the time to explain that. And once again, we want to tell the residents, look out for your mail, look out for emails, and please watch the Splash Live as we continuously keep you updated with the transition with Priority Waste and GFL Environmental. Once again, thank you for joining us. Director of Public Relations and Government Affairs for Priority Waste, Matt Allen. We appreciate your time.
Kevin, you're awesome. Anytime.